I've been thinking about it, and I decided that even though this isn't related to necessarily makeup or beauty products, it does have to do with fashion, and I really want to talk about it. I have a few months ago discovered a website called Rent the Runway. I just wanted to talk about it because I absolutely love it, and I just wanted to share with you guys, if you've never heard of it, just kind of what the basics are of it, and also kind of what the pros and cons are of it. But again, it's called renttherunway.com. It's a place where you can actually rent designer dresses for 4 days or 8 days for varying prices depending on how much the dress itself costs. And they have a bazillion designers, many of them you've heard of, Badgley Mischka, Dolce & Gabbana. And the whole idea of it, the reason why I really like it is because, like, say you have a special event like a wedding or a nice dinner or like a formal party or something like that, and if you go out and buy a dress, I mean, obviously you're going to be spending anywhere from like $50 to a couple $100, just depending on how much you want to spend on a nice dress. And the whole idea of the Rent the Runway is that you can actually rent a designer dress and then send it back, instead of, because I mean, how often do we really wear formal dresses? So I mean, you spend money on a dress and then it just stays in your closet and you don't wear it very often. So this is a really cool way to wear designer fashion and then just send it back when you're done. The prices for the rentals are, I've seen anywhere from $50 to $350, which it can get pretty steep, but those dresses cost a few $1,000s, the ones that cost that much to rent. I have seen them actually as cheap as $35 to rent, but those tend to be dresses that are not super pretty. They probably don't rent very well and they might be out of season. Also, you have to keep in mind that when you are renting, you are going to be paying an additional $5 insurance fee, and you also are going to be paying $12 in shipping, but that does cover to and from your house. What it is the dress comes to your house on the day that you specify, and then you have it for 4 days, and it comes with a return envelope. It's almost like a Netflix for dresses. You put the dress in the return envelope when you're done, and then you just stick it in the mailbox. You don't have to have the dress cleaned. Nothing like that. As far as, I mean, you might be like, part of the risk of ordering clothing online is you're like, is it going to fit me? And obviously, there's no way of knowing for certain if a dress is going to look good on you that you're interested in. But they do a really good job of explaining the dress absolutely in as much detail as they can. If it runs small, what body shapes it tends to look well on, if it's better for smaller busts, larger busts, if it runs narrow through the hips, that kind of thing. And I've noticed that it seems most dresses run up to a size 12. Like, you're not going to see, that I know of, any plus size dresses on this site, and sometimes even if they do run to a size 12, they'll tell you this dress actually runs 2 sizes too small. Also, the website allows people that have rented certain dresses to put reviews in about the dresses, and you'll see both positive and negative reviews, and people they tend to be pretty helpful, pretty honest about the dress, that it ran narrow through the hips, that kind of thing. My big thing is hips. You have to know what looks good on your body when you rent from them, and the 4 times that I've rented, I've had 2 really good experiences, 1 okay experience, and 1 negative experience as far as the dress. One time I rented a dress, it was actually the first thing I ever rented. I rented it for a Christmas party, and it came and it looked awful on me. The dress was fine quality, there was nothing wrong with it, it just looked terrible on my body. So I had to send it back, and by the way, when it doesn't fit you when you send it back, they give you credit for the rental price, but not for the shipping, so you don't get the shipping returned to you, but you can send it back. And the other times the dress has come, it looks as described, it fit me really well, and it was really fun. And then this last time I rented it's kind of a story, but I only ever rent the $50 dresses. I originally rented a $50 dress, and because of weather, it didn't arrive on time, and so their customer service is really helpful. To be honest, they're not always easy to get a hold of. Like, I've been on hold for multiple times. I've had to try to get through to them several times. I think partially because the website is becoming a lot more popular than their logistics can necessarily keep up with. I don't think they have enough customer service representatives, but the company's only been around for like a year and a half, so they're still trying to figure things out. But anyway, the original dress that I wanted wasn't available, so the customer service rep let me pick any dress from the website, even the ones that were worth a few $1,000s, and they would overnight it to me. The original dress that I ordered was probably worth about $500, but the one that they allowed me to rent was worth $1,500. I mean, and if that's the kind of thing's not that big of a deal to you, then whatever, but I really enjoy the whole idea of wearing a dress that's worth over $1,000. It just was overall a really great experience, and I loved how they came through and had something overnighted from New York for me for this event. But again, like, the negatives of this is that you are running the risk that the dress that you order won't necessarily look great on you. They do allow you to rent 2 sizes of a dress if you've never rented from that designer before. If you have rented from the designer, they figure that you have a good feel for how the sizes run, so you only can rent one size from that point on. And they also, sorry, there's so much to tell. They also allow you to rent an additional dress for the same date for just $25. I'm assuming that the second dress has to be the cheaper one that they'll give you $25 for. But again, negative, customer service is kind of difficult to get a hold of sometimes, even though they are great when you reach them. Also, you're running the risk of weather because, of course, this whole thing is based on the shipping getting to your house on time, and if there's inclement weather in the Northeast, which is where the company's located, or I live in the Midwest, then you run the risk of the dress not arriving on the date that you need it to. Other than that, I mean, it's such a fun idea. It's really cool. I've done it 4 times and had my okay to good experiences all 4 times. So if you like fashion and you don't want to, you can't afford to necessarily buy designer clothing, which is definitely me, this is a really cool website to check out. And I know that I've been rambling, so I hope that you got all of that. And again, it's renttherunway.com, and I hope you have a great day. Thanks for watching.